Hello, everybody, and welcome to Hella Gay Podcast. This is the first episode. Thank you for joining us. Feel free to subscribe and like. It's free, doesn't cost anything. I'm your host, Ash,
And I'm your host, Percy.
and today we were talking about the pilot episode of Hazbin Hotel, along with a few other topics. We finally got the time to sit down and record this episode.
We were going to record it yesterday on Saturday,
But Percy
but
decided to
I
get
came down with
sick.
something. Yeah,
So here
let's
we
just say
are.
Alistair was not happy with me yesterday.
I was not.
Not Ash, Alistair. Guy downstairs.
Yeah. Anyway, so I hope you enjoy this podcast. Feel free to listen to it without the video, but we will be posting evidence photos during the video. So if you want those evidence photos, feel free to just have it out of the corner of your eye. And every time we mention it and I tell you we're going to put the photo up, you can look at it. Anyway, so before we start, we wanted to talk about how this podcast slash channel was born in the first place, and how this became an idea.
How it came to fruition.
Yeah. So what?
I'm gonna tell my side of the story on how we basically figured it out. Um, all there really is to it is we were gonna just make a cover for Addict by Viv. And
Which you can now find on our channel. It was posted yesterday.
yep. And we're gonna post it solely, crediting each other's private channels or our personal channels. And we were just like, you know what? Why don't we just make our own channel, co-own it, and do it for jits and shiggles, you know?
Yeah, so
And
originally we weren't even gonna do a podcast, but during filming of Addict, while I was editing, I came up with the idea that we should do a podcast on certain topics. It's not always going to be has been, but probably a lot of it is because it happens to be an obsession. We will also be doing
as you can
like
tell,
gaming, movies, TV. If you want to recommend a topic, we will also be doing true crime and conspiracies, which is something that I'm very into. Um, we still will not be doing our face reveal for a long time, but if you have come off of one of our social medias and you do know what we look like, good for you. Please keep it off the channel.
yeah,
So in my point of view, I'm the editor, so I do the art for the covers a lot of the time and our original channel art. I also edit the videos and shit because it's just you know, my skill set.
I would edit, I would edit shit, but I don't have money to buy editing software.
Anyway, so yeah, I'm the editor. I do the art because why the fuck not? And I have time on my hands. So the podcast was decided amongst me and Percy. Once I decided to hit him up and was like, you know what, we should add to this YouTube channel. We should add, a podcast because I feel like that would be a really good idea. I honestly think it's a really good idea. So
It is. Really was. Here's the thing, Ash didn't really know about me. I've always really wanted to do a podcast. I've just never had the person to do it with.
I've also always wanted to do a podcast, and I've never had a co-host either. So
And now here we are. Yeah.
anything else you want to add about the
But
making
anyway,
of the channel and shit before we get into our topics?
no, not really. Oh, nothing's coming to mind. So
All right then, let's begin. So, we wanted to originally talk about the pilot episode of Hazbin Hotel, which you can find on YouTube. It's pretty easy. Just look up Hazbin Hotel pilot. The YouTube creator is Vivzipop.
I'm
I
gonna
do
sneak the link in there.
Yeah, I do recommend watching the pilot before the show, which you can find on Prime. Percy had an interesting theory about the pilot.
Yes, I did actually. So it is announced by Viv that the Hell of a Boss pilot, right? It's not canon.
Mm-hmm.
So, that kind of makes us wonder because spoilers for the actual show, they remade the pilot as the first episode, but it's different. So that makes me wonder, is the Hazbin Hotel pilot just not canon anymore?
Now,
And Viv has been asked the question and has never really gave an answer to that.
Now, if you think about it, the original pilot does show Alistair actually showing up and not already having been there, along with Husk and Nifty being summoned, which leads me to also ask the question, does Alistair own Nifty, or is Nifty just there? Does Nifty just a really close relationship with Alistair, and Alistair decided that she could be very helpful at the hotel, or does he actually own Nifty's soul?
Now that does lead us to the theory stating that if your soul is owned by an overlord of hell, your eyes are black, right? And if
Mm-hmm.
you are an overlord who owns a bunch of souls, your eyes are red. And if you don't have your soul being auctioned out, or you aren't an overlord, your eyes are nice and yellow.
Correct.
Nifty has the normal yellow eyes.
I would like to point out the fact that we were not looking at a photo of Nifty at the time, and we do realize now that her eyes are actually red.
So,
Is she
but
actually owned by Alistair, or
yeah,
does she just happen to come along with Alistair places? Because they do seem to be pretty close, whereas Husk and Alistair have a very strained relationship, where Husk is kind of terrified of him, especially after the scene in the hallway in episode 5.
no spoilers, please.
That's all I'm going to say is hallway scene.
Oh yeah.
Speaking of owning souls, there has been a theory that Nifty owns Alistair's soul. It could be safe to say that maybe Alistair and Nifty are just really close friends. Going back
Pilot
to
is
whether the
canon.
pilot is canon, you have to wonder because, like you said, Hell of a Boss pilot was in fact not canon.
And Viv has stated on Twitter. I don't know if I have found the right tweet screenshot just yet, but it should be showing up on screen just about now. She has stated that the Hell of a Boss pilot is not canon, but people have asked her, is the Hazbin pilot canon, and she has not answered that question.
So whether or not the pilot of Hazbin Hotel is canon, it does give a nice backstory as to how Husk, Alistair, and Nifty ended up in the hotel in the first place.
And should we move on to our next topic about the pilot?
Sure.
All right. This is more of Alistair or Ash's touche, but the upbringing and original character designs of the has been hotel crew.
Alistair seems to have. Alistair is the has a very interesting character design and backstory. We don't know much about him. However, we do know more about how he became. We know that Alistair was officially the first ever Hazbin Hotel character to be created, being created back in Vivzipop's high school days as an OC. So he is actually the oldest character in existence of the whole, he's the oldest of the characters that she created for, ignore that, I have not eaten today. He's the first ever character created by Vivzipop for the show, before it was even thought to be a show. And if we move on to Charlie and them, we know that their original character designs were made back in way before 2019, and a picture of Charlie's
I think it was
original character
probably
design.
around.
Yeah, 20 something.
It was probably around 2013 or so.
So the original character designs for Alistair and Charlie will be popping up right now. I don't know if that's canonly Alistair's original character design, but it is what I found on Google. So whether or not it is, it's a possibility.
And adding to that, originally when Hazbin Hotel was becoming a show, Vivzi had planned on making Charlie the show's antagonist. Now, of course, that changed, and she is the protagonist.
And one of the main characters.
Exactly. So,
If we go to Hell of a
you know,
Boss, we know Stolas was also originally supposed to be an antagonist as well.
yep. And he was supposed to be hiring the IMP team for hits, but Viv all had changed that, as you can tell, to shipping Blitzo and Stolas together.
Which is actually a decent ship.
Yes.
Speaking of shipping, we know that throughout the first season of Hazbin Hotel, that Husk and Angel are seen getting pretty close. Do you think that's a thing that she's trying to bring up, or do you think that's just Angel Dust being Angel Dust?
I'm gonna be honest with you. Angel Dust doesn't strike me to be the type of person to get into a relationship. As much as I hate to say it,
He really doesn't, though.
but yeah, he really doesn't seem like that type of person. But if you really think about it, Angel's character is so broken from being with Valentino for so long. It would be nice to
People
have
look
him find a true love.
people look for relationships with something that they never had as a kid. So maybe Husk is just what Angel needed as growing up and didn't have. Also, why is nobody talking about the fact that in the original pilot episode of Hazbin Hotel, um, Angel mentioned that Alistair could force souls to rehab, right? And he's forcing Husk to be there. But Nifty, oh my god, sorry. Nifty's not being forced, right? We have a theory that she's not even owned by Alistair.
Yeah.
So what is Nifty doing there? How did he get her there in the first place?
Now, adding on to that, I have stupid theory. Most of my theories are always stupid, as you all know this. Um, I believe Nifty is well, it is pretty much obvious she was an overlord at one point. Because during the sequence where Vaggie is talking about the overlords that Alistair overthrew, um, Husker and Nifty silhouette pops into frame. Although it's for a very short second, you can see them and you can guarantee it's them because no other demons look like them.
Speaking
So it kind of leads me to believe if Nifty's not owned by Alistair, or if she doesn't own Alistair, but she isn't, but she was an overlord, is she still an overlord just in hiding?
Speaking of overlords, we do have the all of the unnamed overlords that Alistair took down. Why would Alistair take down the overlords instead of just making a deal? Was it because he couldn't make a deal and he decided that they were of no use to him? Or was at the time, did he just... We know Alistair's cannibal and will kill for fucking fun. However, he could have used a lot of the overlord deals to his advantage. But he decides to go and kill off most overlords in existence, meaning more overlords decided to show up. So, exactly how and why did Alistair decide to kill off so many overlords when he could have used them to his advantage?
That is a good question that we sadly don't know the answer to, at least to my knowledge.
I don't know the answer, but I do have a theory.
Alrighty.
Maybe he feared that even if he owned their souls and could use them for power, that eventually, because of their status, he could be exposed.
Oh, and that is kind of leading into the whole theory in the show, not trying to, go back into the show, of course, but when Nifty is behind camera, she kind of just freezes up, right?
Yeah, just like Alistair. Both of them have issues with cameras. Why is that?
Is it because their state have stage fright, or is it a much more
Malevolent.
malevolent reason? That word, malevolent, malevolent.
Malevolent.
I'm shut up. I'm
No.
dyslexic.
Me too, and I can still pronounce malevolent.
Is it that word reason? Um, that is it. Alice doesn't want to reveal stuff about him. Is it Nifty has been taught by Alistair to do that, so she doesn't reveal anything about him?
Oh my god. Speaking of Alistair's camera problems, we can see in an episode, if not, I can't remember which episode, if it's not the original one, Alistair's photo shows up in Vox's office with his face completely clear, which means he can choose whether a camera picks his face up or not. So I don't think it's stage fright. I think it's more of an identity thing. But if he let Vox take a photo of him, what was their relationship in the past? I'm genuinely curious. Because he allowed Vox to take a picture of him.
I swear, if it's some romantic relationship shit that Viv reveals in the future, I'm
I
gonna be
can't see
surprised.
it. The radio demon and the TV demon, bro. Radio demon don't even fucking like TV, bro. It's like noisy picture box shit. What if he doesn't like
Too
TVs because of
opposite.
Vox?
That could be a
That
reason,
just came to my
actually.
head. Like, what if he doesn't like the TVs because of Vox? Because, like, Vox could have fucked up enough to make Alistair completely fucking hate TVs.
Oh yeah, and that kind of leads us into Vox's character. Uh, not much is known about all the V's, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I have a theory stating because everyone has their theories about Vox. Some people say that he had an aneurysm, that's why he has a droopy eye.
Mm-hmm.
Other people say that he was killed in an explosion caused by a TV. I believe he was some type of TV repairman at one point, right?
Imagine he was
And
a TV repairman and he somehow became an overlord of hell.
yeah, but he's called in one day, and it's this old TV on a shelf.
Mm-hmm.
And he gets a bit pissy with the TV and he hits the wall. Then the shelf just falls and crushes his head.
Yeah,
Boom,
Vox
he has no more
definitely
head.
has
The
anger
TV takes
issues.
over.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Vox definitely has anger issues. Like, that's kind of a given.
Yeah. So then, head no his head no more, it go bye bye. So TV
We're
takes
not
over when he goes to hell.
12.
Hey, hush.
Anyway, speaking of backstories of characters, what in the flip-flop is Husk's backstory? We don't know
Oh
much
yeah.
about whether or not Husk even, like, really had a backstory. All we know is that he, shit, one second, I got shit all over me. Is that he was once an overlord, the gambling overlord, and lost to a bet with Alistair.
That's basically all we know.
But, like,
Now I have
I want to know what kind of bet we're talking about. Was this, like, a bet that he could beat him in a gambling? He was already losing. Why would you make a kind of bet like that with an overlord, like a fellow overlord? Or was Alistair even an overlord at the time, or did it not happen until after?
Alistair, or Husk could have been Alistair's first victim.
No, those overlords were his first victims, because that happened right as he
Oh
came
yeah,
in hell.
true.
Remember
I mean,
Mimsy's story?
yeah. But I'm talking the first soul he took being Husk's.
Right. That might be. You might be right. That leads me to the question: how many souls does Alistair actually own?
Yes, that is a good question.
We know for sure he owns Husk's soul. But does he own Mimsy's soul as well?
Well, Mimsy's eyes are black, aren't they?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I thought they were. I don't know. I'm
And we
stupid
know
sometimes.
Husk
Anyway,
knows Mimsy. So, is it possible that Mimsy's soul is owned by Alistair as well, and he just did not
or
summon
could it
her to
just
help
be
at the
coincidence?
hotel?
I just want to, show the irony. Mimsy was supposed to be a main character. I haven't seen it yet, so I don't know if,
I
of
hope
course,
she
she
isn't. I'm
is.
gonna be honest. I don't like
Yeah,
Mimsy.
but everyone was waiting for her to show up in the pilot, and
She never
she's not
did.
in the show. She never did show up in the
She's
pilot, so
not in
since
the
she's not in
show
the
until
show,
Hell's Greatest Dad.
yeah. And I just find it funny that Lucifer just said,
Speaking
"Who are
of
you?" Speaking of
speaking
Lucifer,
of dads, we
um,
know canonly for a fact that Lucifer is the one who gave birth to Charlie. Now, how that fucking worked, I have no idea. And how he got
something
pregnant
called
instead of Lilith,
imprint.
I also don't fucking know. This isn't some fucking fan fiction, but then again, this is a
Well, look at
normal
it, Nick.
girl making a show. Who fucking knows?
And just want to top that off. Um, Lucifer is never really mentioned in the pilot or seen.
What if
Only
he
time he's
wasn't
seen
even
is
supposed to
in
be a
a
character?
exactly. He was just supposed to be some background character that was never there for Charlie at one point
But
because
then
he's only seen in a photo and referenced because they say Charlie is the Hell's
Hell's
boss or
Hell no,
Hell's king.
Satan's daughter,
Yeah.
the princess of
So
hell.
does that So, was he even supposed to be a character? Did Viv change her mind during the production
And think
and
about
make
it.
him a character?
He has a whole episode about him now at this point. Him and Alistair. So either he originally was supposed to be a character, or Viv decided that it was to be so and made a whole episode pointing him out. Also, speaking of Lucifer, why the fuck was he late to the battle?
I'm not sure.
What if it was a wardrobe malfunction? thinking of how he couldn't decide. Like that meme where you see he's like the real reason he was late to the battle, and you see a ducky costume in his normal clothes, and it's like, how is that even like a question? Put on the fucking outfit and go. I don't care if you go out there as a duck, just go. Also,
Speaking
what
of the
is
battle,
Lucifer's
right?
thing with ducks? I genuinely don't understand it.
Honestly, I believe it's a coping mechanism
Yeah, I mean his wife did decide to leave
because
him.
of his whole. Yeah, so it could just be a coping mechanism, or you could just have a bad obsession with ducks like you have with Alistair.
Oh, shut the fuck up.
Anyways, to the battle, right? The battle had a lot of death. We all know this.
Yep.
But that kind of leads me to wonder if are in the Hazbin universe or the Hell of the universe or whatever, and you're killed via angelic weapon. Your
Yep.
energy is dispersed into the environment, and you turn into the closest object, whether it be a dumpster, a rock, whatever. But if we go back to the pilot episode at the very end, right? Sir Pinchus, his snake demon self, tries to take down the Hazbin Hotel or whatever, and Alistair's shadow tentacle things blow up his airship. And you can
Tentacles.
declare Pinchus as dead because you see his bits of tail and all this flying out of the airship,
Oh yeah, that
right?
leads us to wonder. When you don't die of an angelic spear, we know Sir Pentious, went to heaven. If you don't die of an angelic spear, do you show back up in hell?
Yeah.
Because we've never actually seen proof of that, but we do know he could end up back in heaven. That would make sense as to why they use angelic weapons, because angelic weapons make sure you can't come back. Which means you might respawn, or this is not fucking Minecraft. You
Remanifest
might remanifest back in hell after dying.
via conventional ways, explosions, car accidents, etc. But this also makes me wonder Adam is killed by Nifty at the very end of the show,
With an
right?
angelic weapon, though. But will
Well,
he end up as a demon in hell?
yeah, well, he ended up as a demon in hell due to his sins, technically their sins, when he was
Supposedly,
an angel.
he was killed with an
And
angelic
I,
weapon. So will he come back at all?
exactly. Now, I kind of have this theory saying, oh, well, if a demon's killed via angelic weapon, then you're just gone. You're erased from the universe, right?
Yep.
But if an angel is killed via angelic weapon,
Do they come
it's not the
back?
same because they're used to that angelic power.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. Speaking of angelic weapons and angels, what is Vaggy's backstory?
Mm.
Because we know she was at one point an exorcist,
Was she heaven-born,
but what
or was
happened?
she, like...
We don't know, at least to my knowledge, at least. I don't know.
I don't know. People say some people theorize that she was heaven-born, so she's never actually been human. But neither has Charlie, so...
I just want to add, Adam's entire army of exorcists are all women, right?
Yeah, why is that?
And there's a theory saying that all these exorcists were at one point his lover, because currently Lilith was in a deal with Fuckwad
But wouldn't that
because
mean
to stay up in
Eve
heaven.
would be an exterminator? Speaking of Eve, where the fuck is she? We
I
know
believe
Lilith
she's a higher
exists.
demon.
Yes, but we hear nothing of her. She's not even mentioned in more than just the story.
I believe that Eve had backstabbed Adam at one point and became a demon, right?
I mean, get oofed, bro. He's a
And
dick anyway.
oh yeah, and Adam just kept replacing until he got to Lilith, and now he's dead.
Mm-hmm.
Or he's just going to manifest back in heaven or hell or whatever.
Well, he ain't going back to heaven, that's for sure.
Oh yeah,
I also
yeah,
think it's partially Heaven's fault that he's the way he is.
yeah.
He kind of spoiled, first man alive, gets to go to heaven by default.
So, do you have anything else we should discuss, my good friend? Because I am out of stuff currently.
Um,
All right. Um, we know that Angel overdosed, right? And we know that he
mm-hmm.
was in the mafia when he was alive.
Right.
So that kind of leads us to believe, what was he in life? What were his sins? We all know that suicide is a sin. At least I know this.
Also, was he a slut
And
IRL or wow, computer
exactly.
terms? Or was he like not and like he only became a slut when he went to hell because of the deal he'd made with Valentino? Also, did he make the deal with Valentino before death because that is possible, or did he make a deal with Valentino after death when Valentino probably found him on the street?
Well, people believe that Valentino was killed in the 70s.
Mm-hmm.
Angel died in the 40s, so that really wouldn't make sense before
Wouldn't
if he
that mean
made it beforehand.
wouldn't that mean fucking Angel's older than Valentino?
Technically, yeah.
Then why aren't bro is oh god, I hate Valentino so fucking much. I really wish Valentino would like die and not come back because at least then motherfucker couldn't
Calling
harm anybody.
calling all angel simps. Do you guys want to grab angelic weapons and go down to hell just to kill Valentino?
I mean, I'll help, but I'm an Alistair simp.
Ah, whatever. It still works.
It still works.
We'll just leave you with Alistair.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. I wish. Anyway, I gotta say, this show in general is a very good show, very well put together, and those of you who say female characters are not written very well are fucking stupid and obviously haven't watched the show. However, Mimsy is, I'm hoping, just like a one-time character. Not a big fan of her. She's how do I put this? She's
Weirdo.
she's a user. She's a freeloader. I mean, she only goes up to Alistair when she needs him to kill somebody for her.
can we just talk about how Mimsy has the Mammon tattoo?
Yeah, why is that? That's
Because we
he's the
all know that
greed.
she's associated.
He's greed, isn't he?
Yeah, he's the embodiment of greed. Like Asmodeus, or
One of
however
the
you say his
seven
name,
deadly
is the embodiment
sins.
of love or
Lust.
of lust, not love.
Well, I mean, he does seem to
So
have love for Fizaroli there, but
yeah, and I wish I was physical. I hate my life sometimes. Anyways,
ooh, me too.
why does Mimsy have the Mammon tattoo? I believe she was just greedy and, got into deal with Mammon. Now she's permanently marked as his property, in quotations, property. So yeah, that's all I got.
1 second.
Wow, viewers, she doesn't even care about
Oh,
me anymore.
oh no, I was looking it up.
Uh,
Supposedly, this could indicate that Mimsy sees Mammon as a role model, hence her greedy nature.
doesn't Vizarali also have that tattoo?
No, I don't think he does.
Well,
Cause
ooh,
he might because he worked for Mammon for a time, but I don't think he like willingly has the tattoo. She probably willingly has the tattoo. She's a very greedy person, which probably means she looks up to Mammon, which would make sense.
yeah. Continuing on, not trying to, go into the hell of a boss part of the universe, but longer videos get more money. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. But
We're not earning money from
let's
this. We
talk
have
about
a total of 8
yeah, we
subscribers.
are. But let's talk about how the Blitzo family or the Blitz family, whatever,
We don't even know much about them. We just know about
include.
Blitz and
Yeah,
the
we don't
daughter.
know much about them, and also Fizzaroli.
Barbie
But
was her
they
name?
all have the same tattoo. Yeah, Barbie Wire is Blitz's
Yeah, that's what I thought.
sister.
And
But
we
they
know his mom's
they
dead.
all have. We all know that Blitz's father, Blitz,
It's an asshole.
Fizzaroli, Barbie Wire, and all the basically a lot of the people in the circus have a tattoo on their forehead, and it's not known. Originally, we thought, hey, it's the lust tattoo. That's
I
why
don't think it's a
Blitz is like
tattoo.
how he is. I think it's a mark,
I think they were born with it.
signifying that the personally, I think it's a mark signifying that the circus is owned by a higher entity in hell.
That's possible.
And we all realize Asmodeus, one of the seven deadly sins, he has enough money to buy Fizzaroli and remove that tattoo.
Mm-hmm.
But seen with flashbacks to the Lululand Circus with Blitz and Barbie Wire trying to cross out her tattoo, it's still there no matter what they do. So
I'm
I
telling you,
believe it was
it's
applied to him.
no. I'm telling you, they were probably
It's
born with it.
yeah, it could be that, but this is Vivzipop's universe, and it's hell.
That's true. Yeah.
There's got to be some foul play in with it. So that's why I say a higher entity, and it's just permanently there, and they can't get rid of it no matter what.
Yeah, that makes sense. Anyway,
Yep.
so I have to go.
Yeah.
But I hope you guys enjoyed this podcast. We will be making another one that will be posted on Easter.
Yippee.
Boy. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed. Please, I swear to God, stop with the fucking duck. I'm not Lucifer. Shut the fuck up. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed. Jesus fucking Christ. I hope you enjoyed the podcast first episode. I know it was trash because both of us are still figuring this out. Please consider subscribing because I really do like to do this kind of shit. And it gives us a boost of confidence.
Yeah.
Somehow we
Thank you guys for
accumulated 8
watching.
subscribers from our first video. Thanks for watching. As Percy said, I hope you come back again. And Please, please stay hydrated.
For the love of God.
Anyway.
I will find you if you don't drink water tonight before you go to bed. I will find you. I will come to your house and I will scream to drink you for at you to drink water until you drink the fucking water.
Anyway, Ash out.
Percy out.